Hello and welcome in guys to my guitar review channel. Today we're doing something interesting. Let's go back to the days when we were all beginners, when we were just starting out and we had to choose a guitar on a budget. You walk into the guitar store excited and all and you see $250 guitar? And over here there's a $5,000 guitar. I can imagine that if you're a beginner and you go on a website and check those two guitars out, you wouldn't be able to tell any difference. Well, they're both black, they're both Les Paul shaped, they're both made out of wood, they both sound like a guitar. Obviously there are some huge differences, but let me tell you something. These differences don't matter to a beginner. Let's take this Honeyburst Les Paul for example. I wanted to hate this thing with a passion, and here's why. 8 years ago, when I was starting to play, when I was a beginner, $250 guitars were a piece of crap. Let's face it. They were badly made with the cheapest material, cheapest hardware. They wouldn't intonate properly. String action was atrocious. So if you picked one of those old cheap guitars up, it's more likely that you stopped playing because you thought that you suck. And maybe you suck. But let me tell you, part of it was because of the guitar. Let me try and explain why $250 are way too low of a price for an electric guitar. First of all, the pickups. A good combination of pickups, bridge and neck on a decent guitar would be around $200. A good bridge and a tailpiece combination is around $150. Tuners. A set of 6 tuners, decent ones, should be around $100. And then you got the pots and electronics. You probably see where I'm going with this. Should you expect a guitar worth $250 to be any good? Let me tell you. Okay, I know it's not reasonable to compare this $250 guitar to a $5,000 Gibson custom shop. But let me tell you something. This $250 guitar puts to shame $500, $600, $700 guitars from the famous brands. And I will explain why in this video. Even for the fun of it, at the end I will do a tone comparison between this guitar and the Gibson Silverburst custom stock. How is this guitar that good for such a low price? Well, it turns out that the brand Eko was not born yesterday. They were founded in 1959 in Italy. Ever since the beginning of this brand, the main goal was mass producing instruments at an affordable price with high quality. And you can clearly see that Eko has some attention to detail even in its cheaper line of guitars. So what makes a cheap guitar really cheap? First of all, you got the tone wood, then you got the hardware, and last but not least, you got the labor, you got the quality control. Imagine trying to cram all this into a $250 budget. It seems impossible. But god damn it, Eko has done it. I'm really surprised. The company name is recognizable and has a good reputation too. People seem to know their guitars from the 80s. And Eko are still making high quality instruments these days. I will not go into much detail about the company history, but there's a video in YouTube. Here it is. Check it out to know more about the company. Unfortunately, no one is paying me to do this video, so it's not a commercial for Eko Guitars. I was really curious because I haven't disassembled a cheaper guitar like this. I just got them and I sold one while unboxing them. The guy didn't even want to try it. He said, "Oh, is this Eko? They're good. Give me one." That sparked my curiosity even further. Come on, how good can a $250 guitar be? Seriously. And you know what? I care about beginners because I was a beginner. I'm not even advanced yet. I consider myself an intermediate player, mediocre actually. But I want to know what I'm selling to kids and I want to know that the guitars they are getting are good. So let's check it out. What do we got here? No surprises. Double humbuckers, two pneumatic bridge, bridge volume, neck volume, bridge tone, neck tone. And we got this cheap 3-way switch. I'm sure I'm gonna hate this, but it's usual for guitars priced as cheap as this one. And that's how you make a $250 guitar. You have to cut some cost somewhere. It's normal. Let's check out the body. Single cut, Les Paul shape, basswood body, not mahogany like most Les Pauls. And I've removed the pickup so we can see the maple cap, and you can see it over here. The finish of this guitar is called Honey Burst Flamed, but it doesn't have a flame top. This is a veneer, and you can see the thin layer here under the coating. They've tried to make it look aged as well. Look how greenish it is, like a nitro finish that has gone old and yellowed over time. And over here, the three-way switch, you can see the routing for it. So what they do during production is they CNC cut the basswood body and they do the routing on it. And after that, they glue the maple cap. You can consider this a long neck tenon. It's marked V because of the model. The model name is VL-480. They did a bit of a rough job of cutting it here. Some chips of the wood, a lot of glue. Overall, could have been done better, but for the price, again, it's okay. The red and the blue cables are for the three-way switch. Yellow one is for the pickup. Let's move this guy out of the way so we can check out how the cavity goes. All the way from the three-way switch down the two pickups. See from here through the pickups underneath the maple cap, and they go to the controls. Here we can have a better look at the basswood body and the maple cap, and you can see the thin layer of veneer on top of the maple cap. It's very thin, you can barely make it out, but it's not a flame maple top. That would be too expensive for a guitar like this. A little bit of a crack over here, but this seems to be glue that they used to glue the maple cap on the basswood body, so it's not a big deal, it's not in the wood. Two humbucker pickups. Eko calls them Rockbuster set. I don't think Eko produces them in-house, they probably buy them from some Chinese manufacturer. No markings on them, they have chrome caps on top. Pickup rings, let's check them out. They're slanted, thin for the neck, and again slanted, bigger one for the bridge. And I'm always happy when the proper screws are chosen for the correct pickup rings. Let me show you. The longer one is used for this pickup ring, and the short one is used for this pickup ring, as it should be. I was really curious what the pickups are showing. Let's check it out. First the bridge, 9.25. Switch it over to the neck, 9.58. They're almost the same. Let's check out the middle position, 4.70. Let's check out the bridge and tailpiece. The tailpiece is unmarked, so I couldn't figure out where it is made. Anyway, let's check out the bridge, see if we can get some clues from it. First of all, it was set properly. Even though the tailpiece was bolted all the way down, the strings are not touching the back wall of the bridge. That will eventually cause a collapse. But what I noticed, when you put the strings on, the bridge is slightly tilted towards the back. I will put the strings back on so you can see it better. First of all, let's try and determine where this bridge is made. Any markings on it? Yeah, some Chinese symbols. Eventually I will find out where the main factory for manufacturing those bridges are, but right now let's just say it is China made. If you guys know who the main manufacturer for guitar hardware in China is, let me know in the comments. I need to educate myself on this matter. Metric screwdriver adjustable. You can adjust it by this thumb wheel as well, but a bit harder. And it fits pretty well, seems to be cast directly onto the studs. The only complaint I have with it, I will show you guys in a second. When you put on the strings, it bends toward the back. You see how it is slightly tilted towards the tailpiece. This is not normal and probably will cause some intonation issues when you try to adjust the saddles. Well, the good news, even with the tailpiece bolted all the way down, the strings are not touching the bridge. Another weird thing I noticed is this finish checking. When I removed the pickguard, it's almost like somebody tried to drill this pickguard hole from here to over here and then realized that's the wrong place and he drilled it here. Maple neck and South American Ropana. Correct me if I'm saying this wrong, guys, but this is an alternative to rosewood that the guys at Eko chose, and I like it. It has slightly darker color, like ebony, and we got real binding over here on the neck too. It is pretty well made too. I don't see any rough instrument marks alongside the entire length of it. And over here we got some glue marks, things like that. But I'm happy to say that the frets don't scratch that much. Good job, guys. Plastic inlays. Of course, you cannot have mother of pearl for this price. And black painted side dot inlays. I like this fingerboard. It looks like ebony. Only problem with it, and it's not a huge problem, the pores seem over exaggerated over here at the nut. And it seems to be on this guitar only. I haven't noticed it on any of the other guitars. Let's do some nerd stuff. The nut width is 43 millimeters or 1.69 inches. Width of the 12th fret 53.2 millimeters or 2.09 inches. Let's check out how thick the neck is. First fret 21.5 millimeters or 0.84 inches. Let's see the 12th fret, 22.8 millimeters or 0.89 inches. This is a thin C neck. Let's check out the profile anyway. Yep, this is the perfect 60s style C-shaped neck. That's why I like this guitar. Figures. The scale length is the typical for a Les Paul shaped guitar, 24.75 inches. And the radius should be 12 inches. But let's not take this in faith, let's measure it. Starting here at the first fret, 12, no rocking, no light showing from underneath. And last fret, again 12, no compound radius, solid 12. The nut is the one thing that all cheap guitars get wrong, but in this case, seems to be pretty well made. Not too high, not too low, string spacing is fine. If I absolutely have to be nitpicky, there is a line here where the binding meets the nut. It's not completely flush, but it's not a problem. It's okay. I've expected much worse from this nut. Truss rod hole, 3 screws, and it's adjusted by an Allen wrench. Let's grab an Allen wrench to measure. 4.5 millimeter Allen wrench will do the job for this truss rod. Here we go. The tuners are Eko die-cast chrome. Eko proudly state in their website that they make them themselves. And I really like how they did the logo of the Eko company with the founding year underneath, 1959. Overall, this is a beautiful headstock. Proudly designed in Italy, so the design mainly went into the headstock and this letter I shaped decoration that I like. Welcome to the back of this guitar. From what I gathered, it is a 3-piece basswood. I could make out one line over here and one that is clearly visible over here. Even though it's made out of basswood and not mahogany, it is a heavy guitar. Besides the routing, I don't think there is any weight relief holes in it. Checking out the 3-way switch cavity, they've used this cheap 3-way switch and you can see all the way to the maple cap. And this plastic cover for it. The holes for it were drilled kind of crooked, but it's fine. Electronics compartment, not the worst soldering job that I have seen, but again those cheap wires are used, some wire sticking out from the pots. You got those 500K mini CF branded pots. As far as I gathered, they're China made and they sell them by bulk, like 10 pieces. Some cheap green capacitors, as you saw, the black ground wire going to the bridge. I've seen worse cavities by Gibson. Okay, this one is covered by this plastic cover, and the holes for it were drilled pretty correctly. On the side, we have a rectangular plastic jack plate and a cheap jack. Original strap buttons, one on the back and one over here near the neck joint. And that's it for the back. Let's move on to the neck and neck joint. The neck is made out of maple, and I specifically chose this guitar because it's not painted black and you can see the maple through the finish. Neck joint is comfortable, usual for set neck guitars, good access to the high frets, and you got this Eko Quality Control Pass number 2 sticker on it, and there should be one over here near the serial number. Yes, QC Pass, comfortable neck overall. Serial number starts with K, the first two letters 21, probably the year it was made, 2021. QC Pass sticker here, the die-cast tuners made from Eko. And over here we have Vision Project and Design by Eko Guitars, Italy, handcrafted in PRC. People's Republic of China. Stop talking, you wanna hear the guitar. Okay, god damn it. What an exciting time to be a beginner. You got such a huge variety of cheap guitars. You got your Epiphones, you got Ibanez, China made, you got Squier by Fender, you got this Eko. And let me tell you, out of the brands that I've listed, I would easily go Eko. This feels like a $600-700 guitar. Those cheap pickups sound good, the Eko tuners stay in tune, hardware is decent, tone wood seems to be fine, they've used a good maple cap. I really wanted to hate this guitar to justify giving more money for a better guitar, but at the same time I'm happy. I'm happy that we live in this age that for $250 a beginner can get a guitar off the shelf and start playing, and the only limit would be his will to be a good guitar player, because I've seen some kids with crazy skills, 10-year-olds playing like beasts, like putting me to shame over here. These kids deserve good guitars, and you know they're on a budget. They are not able to afford like $1,000 guitar from the start. So why should be a $250 guitar a piece of crap? Obviously, it can be done. It can be a good guitar. So, Epiphone, Squier, Ibanez, Schecter, take notice, guys. You better start improving your cheaper instruments because Eko is bringing down your necks, guys. It is amazing how much can you improve a guitar just by monitoring the QC, the quality checks. Up until now, made in China sounded like an excuse for poor quality control to me. But if these guys can do it, so can everybody else. So guys, start making better guitars. Anyway guys, I wanted this to be a 10-minute video, but I don't know how we got to 26. I was simply blown away by the quality of this cheap instrument. Guys, let me know in the comment section which demo did you prefer, the EKO or the Gibson Les Paul Custom Silverburst. But try not to listen with your eyes. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I did making it. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. I will be making more.